Bickley and Marana mornings. Arizona Sports, the local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
Every so often, the Arizona Cardinals will lose a game that breaks the fan base, that drags all of us into this hopeless pit of despair when it feels like our NFL franchise doesn't care or spend or act with the kind of urgency required to win a championship. It's been true for over 100 years, and it's been true for most of their 37 years in the Valley. That game happened again on Sunday when the Cardinals committed 17 turnovers and 17 penalties and allowed over 40 points to a second consecutive division rival, and suddenly another season and another regime seems to be slipping into the abyss. This goes well beyond an overmatched head coach with little range and fewer answers. This goes all the way to the top, to an owner who could have hired Sean Payton but didn't, to an owner who could hire a team president or director of football operations but doesn't, to an owner who has lost the trust of the fan base after catering to the wealthy at State Farm Stadium. Now, I really hope Michael Bidwill understands the acute nature of the current situation, and I hope when the season is over, he'll stop worrying about what the NFLPA thinks about the Cardinals and do everything it takes to counter the growing perception of his fan base, the ones who are streaming for the exits, literally and figuratively. All right, today's Bickley Blast brought to you by my great friends at Chapman BMW. Make luxury attainable. Find them online at chapmanbmw.com.
We're on a mat. Boy, when the alarm goes off tomorrow, you better wake up and come to work and get off the mat, because that's what it is. Obviously disappointing. We'll work tomorrow and we'll see why. And we got to clean some things up. Until we do that, we're not going to win. Like today, I truthfully, give credit to San Francisco. I think we beat ourselves. Like anytime we had chances to get back in the game, whether it be the start of the game or in the first half or second half, we're beating ourselves right now. So that falls on me. And we got to do a better job collectively. But we will get up and we will have a good attitude and we will have focus and urgency towards Jacksonville.
Yep, we gotta do this.
We gotta do this. We gotta do that. We gotta do this.
3-7.
Yeah,
you've had opportunities to gotta do things, and it hasn't been done.
I'm here to tell you, gauging by my emails, the frustration goes well beyond Jonathan Gannon. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that people were very patient with this regime and went through a painstakingly slow rebuild when not a lot of money was spent in the first couple of years. Mm-hmm. And now here in year 3, where the payoff is supposed to be happening, there is no payoff whatsoever. And it really, this is one of those times where fans start to question, okay, what are we doing here? And I do hope the owner understands the severity of this. And if it means replacing this head coaching staff with somebody who maybe has a better idea how to develop a young starting quarterback, you need to do it. You need to get that urgency back to winning. Somebody pointed this out to me. The next Cardinals home game is $15 to get in. The next ASU home game is $114 on the secondary market get-in price, and that would never happen in any other NFL city.
It's interesting. It is a rivalry game with two good football teams happening. Mm-hmm. And it is the Jacksonville Jaguars coming to town.
No, I know. The circumstances matter.
But the level of disdain, disappointment, disinterest in this Cardinals team is at a... It's not at an all-time high, but it's going in that direction.
There's just a feeling that every time something good happens to the Cardinals, it's by accident. It's by the hiring of Bruce Arians, who is not an established head coach. It's finding Kurt Warner. It's finding Carson Palmer. It's never anything that's planned out. It's happenstance. And I'm not saying
not drafting Matt Leinart or Josh Rosen or Kyler Murray and develop them into super duper stars. Yeah.
Right. And I'm not saying this is all accurate, but this feeling is very, very real, and I've got a lot of emails to prove it. I'm sure you do as well.
I think you hit it exactly right, though. It's the feeling of this is not what we were promised.
Yep.
Like we gave you guys, like you said, patience those first 2 years, because the first year they didn't win it very many games, but they played hard and they showed toughness and they showed a lot of heart that we didn't see at the end of the Kingsbury era. The second year they won more games, but this was the year they had to see results, and we all thought we were going to see it. I think we all thought that they were going to win somewhere between, 9 and 10, 11 games?
Mm-hmm.
I think
9 to 11.
I think I had them at 8.
Yeah.
Okay, well, still possible.
I didn't. I was much more optimistic about it. I thought they had a good chance at winning this division, and which is crazy. All right, so Jonathan Gannon in his career versus the NFC West. Okay, his career against the Seahawks, the 49ers, and the Los Angeles Rams. The amount of 3 possession losses by 3 touchdowns or worse, 5 of them. 2 possession losses, 2 touchdowns or worse, 4 of them. 1 touchdown losses, 4 of them. Wins, 3. 3-13. And for those of you who think that Kyler Murray would have done better, understand he's 8-22 against the NFC West.
Yeah, and look, I brought this up last week in passing, but those 3 wins all came last year. And one of them was kind of, you can't discount any wins in the NFL. I often say that. But the Los Angeles Rams in week 2 came in an absolutely battered football team. To the point where we had never seen a team that beat up in week 2 of a season before. Cardinals took care of business. They beat the 49ers once in Santa Clara. And then the last game was, again, a depleted San Francisco team that was playing nobody. And the Cardinals got healthy after they basically squandered a playoff spot. And they ended their season with a feel-good win. Those are the 3 wins in the division. And I think the last 2 weeks has been way more indicative and way more accurate a picture of where this team actually stands in this division. It's not close. And I didn't think we would be sitting here, in the middle of November talking about whether or not the right coaching staff is in place. Because for 2 years, despite not winning a ton of football games, there was a belief that this was, yes, a young, inexperienced staff, but looked like it was doing its job very well. They are swimming right now.
Yeah, they are.
And I don't know if anything ever changes with this franchise if you are not willing as ownership to invest in coaches who have done it at a championship level. The Arizona Cardinals have been here since 1988, Bick. They've gone through a lot of coaches. Do you know how many coaches they've hired who had previous head coaching experience in the NFL?
Not a ton. How many?
Buddy Ryan and Dennis Green. That's it.
Wow.
Everywhere else, this has been treated as a starter job. And you're right. It worked out with Bruce Arians. Worked out for a while with Ken Wisenhunt as well. But not sustainable.
No.
That's what made the Gannon hire kind of so surprising, is that usually the Cliff Kingsbury hire was so out of the box to take someone who many people thought was going to be a coordinator and give him the head coaching job, that a lot of times they zig. The pendulum swings the other way, and all right, this time we're going to hire someone really experienced. And for them to actually go the other way and hire the super young coaching staff was kind of surprising.
Especially when they had Sean Payton in the building for an interview. Now, I don't know whether Sean Payton would want to have come here, but you had him in the building. And you look at, and that's an impact coach. You can tell clearly. 8 straight wins for the Broncos. And here you are, as Vinny pointed out, what feels so hopeless about it, is not only the specter of another rebuild on top of a failed rebuild, if that's what's required, it's just the fact that you're dealing with some very well-run, very well-talented, well-funded teams in the NFC West. And you are lagging behind in every major category.
Can't disagree with anything you said.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.